You're watching the Sunoco Minor League Cricket Championship, brought to you by our 2023 partners.
Hello and welcome everyone. Sunoco Minor League Cricket Championship 2023. New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers taking on the New England Eagles today. A do or die for both the teams if they want to keep their hopes alive of advancing in the tournament. Who's going to punch their ticket to Houston eventually? They've got to stay alive for tomorrow's game though. Would it be New England Eagles, who've had the last laugh a couple of times when they've squared off against the Cavaliers? Or will Cavaliers this time around find their mojo? We're coming to you live from the beautiful Glenville Cricket Complex in New York. And the points table will tell you a story. Look at the Eastern first up. Look at the lower ones. The Philadelphians are quite content where they are. New Jersey Stallions are number 2. The Somerset Cavaliers 3 and 4. New England Eagles. The State Titans and the Manhattan Yorkers, they're out of contention at the moment. It's going to be 3 and 4 today. New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers and New England Eagles, and the winner will square off against New Jersey Stallions tomorrow. Only separated by net run rate, these two teams. So the New England Eagles winning the toss and deciding to bowl first. At the Glenville Cricket Complex, we've seen that the surface is a little up and down. It's always important to know exactly how much you're chasing. Now today, the Cavaliers, Kenner Lewis, as always, would want to provide a flying start. Xavier Marshall would try to do the same. Yasir Mohammed, very talented. Stephen Katvaru behind the wickets. Gajanan Singh, Sunny Patel, Abir Chippa, Syed Najaf Shah will skipper them. Adil Bhatti, Junaid, and Sean Findlay. New England Eagles, Apur Mahesh Ram and Sushant Modani with this international experience will lead the side as well. Gihan Sananayake gets a game today. Christopher Barnwell will try and tonk the ball out of the park as soon as possible. Akshay Homraj, another proven commodity. Gaurav Grover, Salman Nazar, of course. Love the change-ups. Rizwan Mazhar, Burhan Saeed, watch out for him on the field. Ravish Kanchi and Shashwat Ganeshan. So the Eagles winning the toss and choosing to field first. It'll be very interesting to see how the ball behaves on this surface for the first 6 overs. That'll set the tone nicely and also answer a lot of questions that these two teams in a do or die game would want to answer for themselves. It's a beautiful day so far at the Glenville Cricket Complex. And the reason I say so far is because New York weather has its own moods. It's bright and sunny right now and may it be this way for a long time. Xavier Marshall and Kenna Lewis. Lewis will take strike. All set for the first ball. Now, Kenna Lewis, someone who's set the CPL ablaze so many times in a do or die game for the Somerset Cavaliers. It was a warm up delivery, and it's a bit of a warm up for the umpire as well. Bright sunny morning, exercising his arms. 5 runs gifted to the opposition here as far as the Eagles are concerned. The Cavaliers start to tick. What a gift first up. Understanding the intensity of the game, the New England Eagles, they've got to make their opponents fight for every inch. That's not the case. A little bit of swing. The negative nod from the umpire. From this angle, it's very difficult to determine it's LBW or no. The umpire's got the best view. But there was a hint of swinging, was swinging further away. Had it not pitched on the middle stump, then leg stump hitting would have been out of contention. Bat and pad. Lewis a little itchy to get to the other end. Christopher Barnwell started off with a wayward delivery, but has come back really well. As always, the footwork's not there for Kenal Lewis because he's someone who believes more in fireworks. It's almost a replica of the previous delivery. But trust me, you're not watching the replay. This is Barnwell at his best. Christopher Barnwell sometimes was searching for that ball, and now he's got a new ball in the hand. How well is he going to utilize this opportunity? Started with a wide, and that's about it. He's come back really well, Christopher Barnwell. That's through the extra cover region. It's going to trickle away for four. That'll make Lewis feel much better. And it's going to be the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers who will breathe easy at the end of the over. A touch of brilliance from Lewis. You give him wit, he will punish you. 5 without a wicket. Now this is what happened off the first ball. I thought it trickled away for 4. It did. But only 1 was added. Looks like it's not 5, it's going to be 9. Grover will roll his arm over. Pace and spin. He plonked his front foot outside the line, allowed that free swing of the bat, and then the ball was never seen again. Lewis. He wants to set the ground ablaze. This is the way he bats, with absolute clarity and absolute conviction. The margin of error is so little for any spinner because that's in the arc, and the next thing you know, it's out of the park. Just picks the length so early, Kenal Lewis. That's why he's so dangerous. So demoralizing for a bowler bowling his second delivery. Just when I felt he was getting a tad bit slower as well to tie Lewis down, Lewis picked it up. The length was right up his alley to go for the cross-batted shot as well. Make no mistake, he's a well-built man. Lewis is a very tall man too. This time on the offside. Living dangerously here, Grover. You can't give room to Lewis. He will thrive on it. That's the first indication. The first indication of the surface having something for the spinner. That extra bit of bounce as well was a treat to watch. It's important that Lewis, watching from the non-striker's end, does not let doubts creep in his mind, because he's looking at the surface very meticulously, exactly where it's pitching, because Marshall is allowing the ball to pitch and turn. Lewis doesn't allow that. This one turned a lot more. White ball signal. Runs for Marshall. And a very eventful over, with Lewis getting a 6 of the second ball. A couple of dabs here and there would do the trick. 19 for no loss after 2.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले। हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
19 for no loss into. In between overs, the umpires decided to dismantle the stumps and set it again. Christopher Barnwell's far from doing that with the ball in hand if this is going to be the line. He started off the second over with a wide. Second over for him, that is. Just recently in US Masters T10s, Christopher Barnwell got to bowl a little less but still was bowling extremely well in the practice sessions. He's worked out a slower delivery as well that he's so proud to show. The arm speed doesn't change, it's a last moment flick with the fingers. And with Barnwell, extra bounce is never a problem. The keepers decided to stand up, and Barnwell will rejoice this. Now the batter's got to negotiate everything inside the box. Beating the fielder on the onside. Must be a couple of runs. Even if it was in the air for a jiffy, it seems to be very far away from the fielder. Runs available behind square. Considerably quieter start compared to Lewis for Marshall. And looks like the keeper's going to stand up for Lewis as well. Barnwell's already found a length from which the ball's jumping a bit more. Exciting contest this. But he's straying down the leg side too much. This time no runs available though. Now Lewis is someone who's already played a cross-batted shot that went a long way in the previous over. Would you want to make him play another and try and get his wicket? Again. This time the keeper standing up as well made it a little difficult for him to collect it. Good job. There's some lateral movement after pitching. There's not a blade of grass that one can decipher from this distance on the surface. But still there's lateral movement. Barnwell screams. Again met with a negative nod. Lewis would have had his heart in his mouth. There's a bit of swing, and that's what Lewis was counting on. If there's a bit of swing, made swing that much to leave the stumps alone. This over is turning out to be a little frustrating for Barnwell. It's a nagging leg stump line, and it's very difficult to make a batter a candidate for LBW if that's the line that he wants to choose, Barnwell. Three overs gone. 25 for no loss. Much better start for Grover now. Eventually a single squeezed by Lewis. It can be a bit more than a single. Quite a chase in the third man region. Two more added to the tally. This time slightly short, but it was quicker as well to compensate for that length. Just planting a seed in Lewis's mind to go for that cut shot. Eke out that mistake and underedge perhaps rattle the stumps. That must have been the plan for Grover. This time goes slow and loopy. Good change-ups here from Grover. Just 2 runs, and that's the only run-scoring opportunity that he's allowed the batter. He'll steal the single, Lewis. Grover is tied down. Someone like Lewis who's looking to go for a big shot. This is a great achievement indeed. What a second over for Gaurav Grover. 4 overs later, 28 for no loss.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
Presenting you a bit more of the nagging length, Burhan Saeed. We talked about his tactics before as well. Burhan Saeed is someone who borrows a leaf straight out of the book of someone like Simadri. Fani Simadri did that really well in the previous season for the champion side Seattle Thunderbolts. Now applying its history elsewhere. The reason I call this length nagging is because Meanwhile, a single was taken. And the surface is already starting to become a dust bowl. But that's the danger of bowling that length as well. You might end up erring in line too, because you want to keep that angle going for the right-hander. Burhan Saeed is someone who's trying to make Xavier Marshall and Kenna Lewis, two right-handers, opt for a shot perhaps cross-batted, but for that he needs to take the ball away from the righties with the angle. Make them play an unnatural shot on the leg side. This one becomes easier because, again, the length was too full. Khan Saeed, as this over is progressing, is trying his best to recalibrate his line and length. Man at deep mid-wicket. He's got to be pushed back here. Man at mid-wicket rather. Pushed back to deep mid-wicket now. And that's for Lewis because he tends to do this. One of the fastest bat speeds perhaps in the entire 2023 Sunoco Minor League Cricket Championship. It's going to be Kenna Lewis. Bludgeons the ball. There isn't a word called polite in his dictionary. Started off with 2-dot balls here for Khan Saeed, and suddenly he realizes that the batters have started to milk his bowling. A very innocuous full toss, but Xavier Marshall hasn't gone for a big shot. Just a gentle drive down the ground, suggesting to the opponents he wants to stay there in the middle a longer period of time. He's leaving the big hits to Lewis. 5 overs later, 33 without a wicket.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need one hand on the roof, one hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go Rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go Rewards, when you fuel, you save, because rewards come first.
The last over of power play coming up here. The New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers so far have had answers to the bowlers of the Eagles. And this man's asked a lot of questions already. The double G. Gaurav Grover, especially in his second over. The one that turns away from the right-hander. Trying to eke out that mistake. A mistake of an inside edge, perhaps onto the stumps. Or just a faint edge to let the keeper take over. Very well done. Great anticipation here. Grover also ensuring that he gets in a great position should he receive a throw. Marshall and Lewis are not quite happy with the way the final over of the power play is progressing. 4-dot deliveries, and Gulshan Grover, beg your pardon, it's Gaurav Grover who's loving this. Back in India, it looks like I'm watching a lot of movies. Oh, good ball. Extra bit of bounce once again. And Xavier Marshall, just for a moment, was concerned about the balance. Very well ball, Grover. A maiden over for the final over of the power play. 33 without a wicket, the Cavaliers.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
Sensational couple of overs for Grover. And Burhan Saeed couldn't have asked for a better over to inherit. He's got to keep the pressure on. Lewis would be a little itchy. And that length seems to be working. Slightly short, and Lewis wants to pounce on it. The wrist protection in the deep will keep it down to a single. A very frustrating single here. Lewis wanted more. It was his shot to play. And the non-striker's end is where he'll practice the same. Wanted better connection there, because he knows how to make the fielders in the deep redundant, because he gets the elevation most of the times. He got him this time. Burhan Saeed has found timber. Xavier Marshall's played a shot which is as defensive as it can get. And the ball eventually goes through the gap. Saeed strikes. This is what happens when you call the keeper up as well. The batter feels a little suffocated and in two minds whether to go forward or backward. Ball skips through too. Marshall immediately knew he was in trouble. Offering a defensive shot, he's back in the hut, and it will pain him a little more today in this do or die contest. The Eagles have drawn first blood. It's 34 for 1. But he was a little circumspect. Eventually went through for that single. What a good delivery from Burhan Saeed. By Khate, making Burhan understand that these are the danger areas. You do not step on them. The danger area, just steer away in your follow through. Lewis wants to bat the way that he loves to, but he hasn't found the elevation. Should be a simple catch, and Barnwell's not going to drop any. 2 wickets, and both the openers are back in the hut. Burhan Saeed is struck once again, and this time it's even sweeter. The length works, the angle works, and the change of pace as well. Lewis was a little early into the shot, and he knew immediately it was going to be catching practice for someone inside the 30-yard circle. Barnwell calls for it, and Barnwell gets it. A good start for the Cavaliers, suddenly turning not so much. 2 wickets in the same over. 35 for 2. 2 new batters at the crease. Exactly what the Eagles wanted. Pin the opposition down. Seasoned campaigner in Gajanan Singh has walked out to bat here. International experience that he brings with him a plenty. Long on, slightly wider, and a long off even wider. Getting the left-hander in the mix is very important. They'll also allow the captain, Sushant Madani of New England Eagles, to think if he wants to persist with Grover. The pitch is doing a bit. Side's been unplayable in this over. 2 runs and as many wickets. 7 overs gone, 35 for 2.
What's up, Doug? What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
Two terrific overs back to back, and looks like it's going to be God of Grover to continue. The captain still feels that Bhatti is a right-hander and is still new to the crease. Let's pop in a slip in place and try and look for the third. Gaurav's brilliance in his previous over is what also created the itch for the batters to go for the big shot against Burhan Syed, and he was too good. The wickets column will tick for Burhan and not Grover. That's only so far. Can Grover, can he make it work? In the air, almost taken. Oh, what an attempt. Now he slips. That doesn't make for good camera viewing, but that's all right. Barnwell almost converting that into a catch. And he's writhing in pain right now of having put that down. In the air, Bhatti a little tentative to reach the ball. Barnwell is tall and he does reach the ball. But it doesn't stick in the bucket-like hands of Barnwell. All that excitement there. Both the sides will get excited by all that, but the man in red that you see there, Brian Kane, he never will. One of the finest umpires in the USA, Brian Kane and Mr. Khate, the 2 umpires for today. Every time Gaurav Grover has come onto ball today, something exciting has happened. Courtesy, line, length, and change of pace. The quicker one. Pushing Bhatti on the back foot. Cheekiness doesn't pay off. And these days you do see the slip fielder anticipate that lap shot and try and go leg side. Not too long ago, we saw Steve Smith do that in the longer format of the game. Run from slips to the leg slip position and convert that into a catch. A similar shot that. Just easing into the offside this time around will pick up a single. Now the left-hander to Grover, who will be turning the ball into the left-hander. Will change the angle, I assume. Or does he want to stick to around the wicket? On paper, easier to negotiate for the left-hander. But that's only on paper. He's still asking questions, Grover. A single will allow Singh to retain strike. 8 overs later, 39 for 2, the Cavaliers. This is definitely worth another look. Was in the air and Barnwell flies as much as the ball did to get to him. Mid-air realizes the ball spills away from his fingers. But what a good attempt. Four runs of Grover's previous over. All in singles. This tells you that the New England Eagles never lost hope when it was a good start. Because once they pick up wickets in bunches. Now with two new batters and a little tentative early on, understandably so. Captain Sushant Modani wants to get the momentum. Burhan Syed. Two fabulous wickets in his previous over. Both the openers back in the hut thanks to him. He's definitely rolling his fingers on the ball as he leaves it. Length is a little testing for Gajanan Singh. He's yorked him. Sorry for the little interruption. A couple of singles taken meanwhile, a couple of singles. That brings the left-hander back on strike. Gajanan Singh. Burhan Syed would try and make him lean into a drive. A miscued drive is a wicket. Just two of Burhan Syed's over. Another splendid over from the youngster. 41 for 2 after 9.
आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस, इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
(2023) Sunoco Minor League Cricket Championship. New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers taking on the New England Eagles in a must-win game. Nazar doesn't want to waste any time. The second delivery. Bhatti is confused. Nazar is suggesting, look at the bail, one is missing. I think it's a great ploy for Sushant Modani to have given it to Nazar. Now mid-celebration, because of the conundrum, they've stopped. The Eagles, they've stopped. Salman Nazar gets the ball in hand because Grover has produced a great report card as a spinner. Yes, that took the bail off on its way into the gloves of the keeper. So that's bold. Bhatti has got his off stump rattled. Adil Bhatti, the flamboyant batter he is, today has got to find himself back in the hut. Cross-batted shot, disturbed timber into the hands of the keeper. I think Adil Bhatti was a little confused just to see if he was bowled or was it a stumping attempt, because his back foot was firmly planted. He felt that cannot be a stumping attempt. If it is, then he can survive the scare. But unfortunately for him, the ball kissed the off stump while it went into the gloves of the keeper. Salman Nazar doesn't waste much time in picking up that wicket. And today, early in the game itself, Glenville Cricket Complex, both the captains, they'll be looking at their team sheets to find out who's going to bowl left arm orthodox. There's something in it for the spinners, especially if you're good at change-ups. In Carrom board, they always teach you it's the follow-up that matters. And Salman Nazar has learnt it brilliantly. 3-dot deliveries. What seemed like a dream over so far suddenly has changed its course. Gajanan Singh moves on to a runner ball line. Free swing of that bat, and long on's just a spectator. Much better delivery from Nazar. This was a quicker one as well, and he loves to undercut the ball too. At the halfway stage, the Cavaliers, 48 on the board.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need one hand on the roof, one hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go rewards, when you fuel, you save because rewards come first.
Saeed into his final over. He's churned out figures that he'll be mighty proud of. 9 for 2. And 2 wickets of set batters. Got enough bat on it. And I think it's miscalculation from the fielder in the deep. Apurva cannot believe it either. There was an element of risk in that shot. Wasn't sitting deep at the boundary cushions. Haynes had to jump to try and convert that into a catch, only to realize there were at least 3 to 4 yards that he could have covered to be near the boundary cushions. Had he calculated that, would have been a simpler catch. It's not a change in field, it's going to be a change in fielders. And to make matters worse for Saeed, this one's gone through as well. Good running between the wickets here. It's very difficult to run 3 on Glenville Cricket Complex. He was through with the shot and then the ball arrived slowly. Good change in pace by Burhan Saeed. He's such a shrewd customer, Burhan Saeed. Can't get that single. You could sense the frustration on Gajanan's face. He was looking for that tap and run opportunity. Now he practices that push, that full-fledged shot. And this is despite getting a 6 in the over early on. There was Patti who went for that flamboyant shot on the offside, risks his wicket actually, but eventually got 6. 10 of Burhan's over. He finishes with figures of 2 for 19. And this happened earlier in the over. Easily could have been at the edge of the boundary rope. Just could have been back, further back, would have been an easier catch. 11 was gone, 58 for 2.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस, इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
Now Kenna Lewis and Xavier Marshall, 17 and 7 respectively, got out of the same over thanks to Burhan Saeed, who's now finished off his quota of 4. Now it looks like Nazar gets only 1 over, in which he was successful too. So he's thrown the ball to Apurva. With a left-hander in the mix, the off-spinner. Gajanan Singh couldn't care less. What a way to invite the new bowler. Apurva, he's earned himself a slip as well. But if that's going to be the length, then Gajanan Singh will go after it. Just a touch full. But the experience of Gajanan Singh and the swift hands. Loves to go inside out too. Much better this time from Apurva Maheshram. Struck well, but protection in the deep. The sweeper ensured it's only a single. "21 matches, 9 wickets." Purva Maheshram. He's got a back leg side for the right-hander. Patti's got to make the most of the life he's got. Singh wants to be adventurous. This time Maheshram doesn't make a mistake. He fired this in. And it's good to see Captain Modani wanting that slip. to give confidence to young Mahesh Ram, and this is what he does. Picks up Gajanan Singh and has the last laugh. It was important for Mahesh Ram to get the confidence going, especially with what happened in the previous over in the deep as well. Swung his bat early, good change in pace, and the accuracy always helps. Mixed it up so beautifully. Mahesh Ram missed his mark in the first delivery, got belted. But what he's done after that is been very, very shrewd in change of pace and the right length. The cross-batted shot doesn't come off. The partnership brewing has been curtailed. 66 for 3 after 12. Gihansan and Nayak. Not allowing him to free his arms here. The Bhatti is the set batter. On a surface that's a little up and down, especially when the spinners are bowling, not so much when the pacers are bowling. The pacers are resorting more to the cutters because that's what is aiding. Johansson and Nayak is doing the same thing, target the stumps. I think that's what Burhan Said, who's completed his quota of 4 for a magnificent figure of, I think, 2 for 17 if I'm not wrong. That's what he would have whispered in Sananayaka's ears. Sananayaka, keep it wicket to wicket, bowl the cutters, make the batters a candidate for LBW. The extra bit of bounce is something that'll be an offering from the wicket to good bowling. Well fielded, Bhatti. Just marginally short and Bhatti pounces. The cow corner region has been peppered with one of the best sixes that we've seen so far. So quick to read length. And Sananayaka is realizing that this might not be the ideal lanes to be pitching the ball. Very, very short. He's got to go back to the Colombo length. Sananayaka. Much better. Did a lot of cricket there before moving to the US. Now 12 overs gone. Rather 13.
What's up, Doug? What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
This time Bhatti is indeed stumped. Oh, this is poetic justice, isn't it? He's kicking himself, and why not? Gave away too early that he wants to dance down the track. A shrewd Nazar reduced the pace of the ball. Look how late Nazar decides to lead the delivery as well. No, this time he's bowled, not stumped. He would have been had the ball not hit the sticks at all. He's missed a pretty straight ball that's crashing into the middle. And Bhatti is back in the hut. Rizwan has kept well today. Especially early on when the ball was bouncing a little more. Rizwan Mazhar, his technique is impeccable. With keepers, they always talk about swift hands and getting up in a straight line. Now this was the fourth jolt. Nazar has tied the new batter down. Patel still struggling to find that right area from which he can offer the front foot shot. Nazar has found the right spot to be delivering. This is much better. Wood was able to smother the spin. Successful over for Salman. And this can prove to be a very precarious position for the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers, because once again two new batters at the crease. 75 for 4.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस, इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
Jihan Senanayaka gave away 8 in his previous over. One poor delivery that Bhatti decides to send sailing through the car corner. He'd be quite content, Senanayaka, that his partners got rid of Bhatti. And 2 new men at the crease is a great time to bowl. Very good leave by Patel. The Eagles have found a way to humble the Cavaliers a couple of times. Today they want to change that, the Cavaliers. And that region seems to be something that continues to have the curse for Senanayaka. It's the second time the right-hand batter has gone through the car corner and got runs. Runs are plenty. Waiting for the umpire's signal. Swift hands once again, and the wrists taking over. Could be a little dangerous, that shot to play, because this didn't bounce as much. A bit of an misfield. And good running between the wickets. What should have been a single's been converted into 2, because 2 new batters means 2 fresh pairs of legs. No one there. Welcome boundary for Patel. Second in the over, 1 on the leg side where he had to work harder. This one got the width. And he cuts it away in superb style. No one there. Initially, as the over started, I thought there was a third man in place. Not to be. Even if he is, it's inside the circle. No chance once it beats him. Good outfield in that region. The Glenville Cricket Complex is one of those grounds where the outfield is good in parts. Very well played by Patel. Now the extra delivery from Senanayaka. Remember, there was a wide in the over initially. The extra delivery. Sean Findlay. Made the switch from Manhattan Yorkers, Sean Findlay. Very good throw there. Quick to get rid of the ball. thus not allowing the opposition to entertain the thoughts of a second run. 15 overs gone. The Cavaliers are 90 for 4. They want to trot a little faster.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need one hand on the roof, one hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go rewards, when you fuel, you save because rewards come first.
Half-hearted appeal from Rizwan. It was Findlay's call as he was a non-striker on that occasion. Six wickets in hand. The Cavaliers want that big finish, and they're trusting Findlay's willow. Patel's already moved to the next gear. Very odd looking shot there from Findlay. Felt like he offered the shot to it, then retracted the last moment. Very good over from Apurva Maheshram. Just 3 runs of it, no drama. Just the way the captain wants it to be. 93 for 4.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
Good thinking from Sushant Modani. Brings back Barnwell. So Barnwell gets the 17th and Barnwell perhaps the 19th as well. Purva can bowl another. But he trusts in Anayaka to bowl one more. Motani. That's been a very hot area for runs. Bit of a misfield from Apurva. Oh, in fact, it was Homraj. Came rather quickly to him. Barnwell's all smiles. As long as the boundary seems to be at bay, Barnwell will be all smiles. He's tossed the hat. He wants the helmet. Findlay. With Barnwell, you also sign up for chin music. Findlay doesn't want to take that risk. And these days the umpires stress as well to wear protective gear. Good change up from Christopher Barnwell. That huge backlift of Findlay had to be curtailed the last moment. The three men patrolling the boundary rope on the leg side, a slightly wider long on as well, because Findlay loves to pepper that region. Or not the right delivery. And it's going to disappear over the fence in no time. 5 runs once again. These are crucial runs, mind you. 100 comes up for the Cavaliers. And what better way to get to that mark without the ball being counted? No chance for Rizwan as well. One delivery past him. That was a pure pace of Barnwell. It was a misguided missile. These are the mistakes that you want to eke out of the opposition as the batting team with the right-hand, left-hand combination. That's exactly what's happened with Barnwell too. It was also an attempted Yorker. Would have been a great one for a 26-yard wicket, but still had to guide it better. Clears the infield, but still protection in the deep. Only a single. Little frustrating for Patel, who's looking to kick into the next gear. A 17 overs gone. 103 for 4.
What's up, Doug? What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
Apurva Maheshram, it's going to be Apurva Maheshram for the 18th. It's a gamble that's paying off so far for the New England Eagles. Just in case you're joining us right now for this do or die, the Cavaliers were put into bat by the New England Eagles. Not where he intended it to go. Findlay, he struggled a little bit today. 9 of 13. Patel in as many deliveries, 15. But knowing the styles of play for both these batters, it's just a matter of one good shot, especially for Findlay. Patel's been the more fluent today. Bit of a conundrum as to where he wants that square leg fielder to go. He's gone back to his place. There is height, there is distance. He's cooked up a brilliant 6 indeed. Just for a moment, Longoff thought he is in business. But that's only to fetch, not to field. Coming down the track. Very Dhoni-like shot that, also because of the pads resemble the same. He's gone through the leg side this time. And even longer, even better. 2 back-to-back sixes. And Patel's turning the heat on. The Cavaliers are looking for a big finish. This is why Maheshram was a gamble. Touchful in the slot and out of the park. "13 of the first 4. He's woken up everybody at the Glenville Cricket Complex as Patel. This time straight down the ground. And no chance for the fielder in the deep once again. Umpire Kane raises his arms. It's the 3rd 6 in the over. Apurva, the runs conceded in 6s. Just look at your jersey number today. Once again, his in length. Free swing of the bat because of the little width provided. Can Maheshram make a comeback here? Much better a delivery this time around. It takes guts to be bowling slower. Usually the pacey deliveries come through from the spinners. But it's an over to forget for Maheshram. An over to rejoice for the Cavaliers. 124 for 4 with 12 balls up their sleeve. Sensational hitting this from Patel. This was the first one over Longoff. And just when Longoff was fetching it, moments later, it was Long Gone who was asked to do the same. Very next delivery. And then one in between them to confuse both. Very Dhoni-like bottom hand too. 34 of 17 for Patel. He was 15 of 13 just moments ago. Christopher Barnwell will bowl the 19th. Big swing and a miss. Barnwell doesn't want to provide pace during the end overs. Relies more on cutters, the slower deliveries, asks the batters usually to go for that powerful shot, lose their shape. 50 partnership comes up in just 29 balls. Courtesy Patel, 33 or 16. Findlay has struggled a little bit today. Shot slow, but a wicket will still be available. Straight to the fielder in the deep. Barnwell has provided the breakthrough, much required of Patel. Just when we were showing you the partnership, it was broken. Now, it wasn't the best of deliveries as far as Barnwell's concerned. Safe pair of hands. Fielding has been excellent today from the New England Eagles. Barnwell himself almost took a flying catch, converted that into an opportunity, took an easy one though. Rizwan's been excellent. And this has been a problem that persists with Barnwell. The number of wides today is perhaps contesting, but the guideline hasn't moved. Or very cheekily done, just showing it the way. Findlay was inside the circle. And Burhan Said really had no chance of getting there in time. Ball winning the race. You can't be bowling innocuous full tosses at this stage. Barnwell has produced a wicket all right in this over, but that's not of the best delivery either. More importantly, it's a wicket though. Just that Barnwell's been all over the place with the ball in hand today. Number of wides, a couple of wides that have disappeared for 4 as well. This is a very good shout, but the umpire is uninterested. It looked like Masood was literally caught on the hop. There was no bat involved as well. The only reason the finger that matters stayed down is perhaps it would have missed the stumps. Change of angle for the left-hander Findlay. Barnwell with the final delivery of his spell, rotating the field on the leg side. Findlay's gone for the big shot, and oh, it's spilled. Should have been taken. It's a Purva once again. Findlay survives. Barnwell cannot believe it. If only Barnwell could be everywhere. Really no excuses. It should have been taken. Apurva was underneath it, fingers pointing upwards. The ball burst through his hands. And Masood was pushing Findlay for the second, who was caught ball watching for just a moment. 133 for 5. The final over coming up. A do-or-die contest. You don't want to spill opportunities. Just when we were praising the New England Eagles, who were sensational on the field only thus far, that should have been taken, and during the death overs are when more opportunities are created. You want the long on and long off to be the safest pairs of hands that you can find in the team. Not too long ago, someone like Himraj was able to be behind the ball and stop a crucial boundary. I thought that's the standard that New England Eagles would have set for themselves, especially with Barnwell flying early on in the innings as well. Madani wouldn't be happy with that effort. It's going to be Sananayaka indeed. He might be having an off day so far with the ball in hand, but the captain's gone for experience here. He's gone with experience. Masood had to dig it out. And two crucial runs taken. Good one-handed pick up and throw as well, but still the second run was on. And because Masood knew how hard he's hit it, he was pushing Findlay all the time to come back for two. Again, the same region. This time, not the same result, just a single. Sananayaka starts off well. 4 more deliveries for him. The countdown has begun in his mind. The Cavaliers have reached 136. They'll be tempted to touch the 150 mark. They need boundaries to get there, and Findlay's trying his best, but hasn't found one. Would this be it? No, it'll be a simple catch. Apurva has had enough. This time at long off, he doesn't make a mistake. Straight down his throat as well. Didn't move an inch on the left or the right. Waited for that ball to arrive. And Findlay, wanting to go for the big shot, and rightfully so, has perished in the process. He's made it look so nonchalant. Findlay departs for 11. 136 for 6. Three runs on a wicket, turning out to be a master stroke from Madani to give it to Sananayaka. Long on and long off, did converge for a moment. It's Apurva doing the cleanup work. Yasir Mohammed starts off at 2. Long on, he's got to keep it down to a single. But Masood wants the second run. Has he reached in time? Now the celebrations will begin. Masood can continue that run well for a long time. In fact, run straight into the dugout. The second was pushing himself. He knew that. There was just 20% chance that he would make it in time. Looks like it's a very good throw from the deep as well. Accurate enough from Burhan Said. Accurate enough. All that Sananayaka had to do, collect and whip the bails off. And umpire Kane had raised his finger because Masood was caught short. What an over this has turned out to be for the New England Eagles. They picked up 2 wickets and conceded 6. And 138 for 6 is what the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers have managed. Started with Kenna Lewis and Xavier Marshall. Got a good start, a positive start, but both of them perished in the same over thanks to Syed. Nadil Bhatti was stuck around for a while, couldn't get to the next gear. Smashed a lovely shot through the cow corner, but that's the only highlight. Gajanan Singh was looking good as well, perished at the wrong time. A couple of starts there with Sunny Patel in the side too. 34 of 19, going bonkers in 1 over, smashing 3 sixes. Sean Findlay tried his best as well. And Junaid and Nasser, well, good running between the wickets, but eventually falling short by a few inches or a little more. Lots of bowling options for New England Eagles, as they always love to have. Christopher Barnwell today had an off day. Gaurav Grover was sensational in his 4 overs. Didn't have wickets to show, but his partners do have wickets to show because of him. Burhan Syed, who picked up 2 wickets in that 1 over, finishes with 2 for 19 with a very good economy. And Salman Nazar as well was excellent in his 2 overs. Very surprising that he didn't get his full quota. Apurva Maheshram and Sananayaka, 1 apiece. Christopher Barnwell started off with a wide delivery. Just when he was about to forget that, he produced another one eventually. Lewis waited for his opportunity, and when there was some width, he pounced on it. What a shot to get off the mark, especially for a man who waited for 5 deliveries. And Lewis was ruthless through the leg side as well. Grover had 1 poor over, and that was the first one. Came back brilliantly with a maiden over. Marshall was absolutely clueless, as Syed was the first to go. Syed produced that wicket of Marshall. Marshall was the first to go, and then very soon Lewis gifted this catch off the same over, off the same bowler, and it was Barnwell underneath that one. After 2 quick jolts, they had to recover, and that's when Bhatti and Gajanan Singh got together. Balman almost produced some more magic on the field. And this is where Bhatti survived. It actually brushed past the stumps. He was bowled, but very soon he realized he's got a... He was called back. Perhaps the umpire Kane on that occasion felt that he was stumped and not bowled, but he eventually was. Nazar was bowling really well in this over with 3 dot balls, but that 6 did dent his confidence a little bit. And Bhatti then launched the attack. In hindsight, that could have been taken, but Gajanan Singh, very, very ruthless, especially early on in the over, to set the tone nicely for himself. But once he departed, it became a turning point, as Bhatti had to assume more responsibility at the other end. And this was a shot we were mentioning early on as well. Not an easy shot to play. Sananayaka was greeted with this one. And then Bhatti missed a pretty straight one from Nasser. With Patel being a new man in, he had to do the mending work first before he could play the big shots. As he played himself in with a couple of shots through the offside as well. Patel was gearing up for a sensational over. Barnwell would want to look at that problem. And this is the over that he will remember for the shift in momentum, producing 3 sixes in the same over. One through the offside, long off, check. Long on, teased as well. And then perhaps he was confused whom to feed this ball to, went straight down the ground. Free swing of the arms from Sunny Patel. As soon as the partnership reached 50, a shorter delivery from Barnwell. And a very good catch in the deep. A gift to Junaid. A gift to Junaid, and he's too good to ignore a gift of that kind. It was a very good shot, I thought, but their finger didn't rise. The Cavaliers reached 131, were looking for 150 kind of a finish. With Apurva putting this down, Findlay thought he's got another chance to prove a point, but didn't last long, as he didn't commit a mistake this time around. Sananayaka picked up his first scalp, and then Yasir Mohammed looking for that second run where it didn't exist, and Masood had to pay the price. Good throw from Burhan Saeed. All in all, the Cavaliers reach 138, and in this do-or-die game, the New England Eagles, will they be able to humble the Cavaliers for the third time, or will the Cavaliers for the first time win against the Eagles? They have 138 to defend, and the Eagles are looking for 139. We'll join you for the second innings in a moment's time. New England Eagles want to begin the mission 138. Now eventually it was decided 139 for the opposition, 140 required. New England Eagles 140. Najaf, the captain, will start with the ball in hand. Homraj Maheshram combo for the New England Eagles, very trusted. The extra bit of bounce as always from Najaf. He's got the one that moves away from the right-hander and one that jacks back in as well from the same length. Almost cut him in half there. This one came back in a little bit further, reducing the room available. Very good first delivery to a batter. Now from that length, that's exactly why he's a little dangerous. From the same length he can produce the one that comes back in and one that leaves the right-hander as well. He's got a very good wrist, Najaf. Apurva would want to prove a point. Homraj wanted that single, it's not there. Maheshram stayed put. Now as he realizes there, Najaf, just one run so far. Won't be surprised if a slip comes into place. Big appeal. Slightly slow through the air as well. Homraj will have a word with Maheshram. It's a full toss. Low full toss that is missed. It's difficult to pick the trajectory when it's dipping like that at the last moment as well. Maheshram searching for the one shot that will announce that he's back in form, back with the confidence that he's known to play with. And that first run is always a sigh of relief, no matter what level of cricket you're playing. That first run, very important. And if he can come through a shot of this kind, even better. Slices it, and the ball's still traveling. Oh, that piece of leather has literally ruffled some feathers. The birds are flying helter-skelter. They didn't expect this from Maheshram. Splendid shot. There was a point in place, but he's cut that brilliantly. What a way to end the over. 5 for no loss. Najaf Shah gave just too much width at the end of the over, and Maheshram pounced on it immediately. Adil Bhatti. Remember watching him last year as well in the Big Three tournament around different parts of East Coast. He wasn't bowling well at that time, concentrated more on batting, but off late he's been sensational. And as that tournament progressed, he just developed those change-ups and became more comfortable bowling to the right-handers. Today it's great to have seen him grow to an extent that he wants the new ball. Big swing and a miss. Had to go for that wild swing, Homeraj. Taken. He's got the wicket there, Bhatti. The two dot balls have done the trick. And up his drive for Homeraj, straight into the hands. The New England Eagles wanted a better start in a must-win game of this kind. The Cavaliers strike early. Little early into the shot as well. He knew immediately this is going to carry. Homeraj departs. 5 for 1. He's got such great anticipation there. Abhichippa. Such great anticipation. Let's have a look at that catch again. Modani's come out to bat, the captain at number 3. Now Bhatti slightly further. Homeraj a little tentative with his front foot, not reaching the pitch of the ball. And very good anticipation by Chippa. Moving sideways sometimes, but hands in the right position for that dipping ball. You always anticipate a bit of torque as well when you're fielding at point and backward point. Really good catch. And he's got him back-to-back wickets for Bhatti, and it's Sushant Modani who's walking cluelessly. Even before one could say Jack Robinson, Modani is back in the hut. This is a huge blow to the New England Eagles. The captain departing for a golden duck in a must-win game. The wings are being chopped off for the Eagles right now. Played on. Surely will be a long walk back. Modani departs without troubling the scorers. It's 5 for 2. And in-box Barnwell. This could be a double-edged sword here. The New England Eagles have chosen Barnwell at number 4. The big hitting Barnwell's got to curb his instincts of going for the big shots, or has he been asked by the management to be ruthless in the first 6 overs? Forget what the scorecard reads. Play your natural game. We've seen it in world cricket. It's produced that edge off that wicket. Now the surface also is getting that extra bit of bounce. You need that extra bit of bounce when you're bowling at Barnwell. The hat-trick delivery it was. The edge was generated. Well, looks like Mahesh Ram's found a foreign object. Polite inquiry, umpire says no. What an over from Patti. Is given nothing away and taken two. The Eagles 5 for 2.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
A double wicket maiden from Patti. Captain Najaf for the second over. There's always that issue of height because Najaf Shah will get that extra bit of bounce from the angle that he's bowling as well. It's difficult to affect an LBW. Here, of course, Barnwell was obscuring our view, not the umpires. Got him! Mahesh Ram departs. New England Eagles in all sorts of trouble. Very audacious looking shot and he's missed the ball completely. Najaf sticks to the same line of attack. Slower delivery this time though. Stumps rattle. Katvaru was the first to jump in joy. This is complete harakiri from New England Eagles in a must-win game. Mahesh Ram departs for 4. 5 for 3. The very experienced Salman Nazar. Just across the border, ask anybody. In Canada, Salman Nazar. He's pulled games out of difficult situations, unbelievable situations. Played with a fever of 102 and produced match-winning spells. He is a fighter, and you want a fighter to come in when your team is 5 for 3 in a must-win game. Najaf with 2 slips. This one held its line. What an incredible start this is for the Cavaliers. The score has stagnated on 5 and 3 good wickets. The engine room of New England Eagles. Moving outside off just a little bit, but Najaf had actually accumulated enough pace and accommodated the fact that Najaf wants to stick to the same length despite the batter coming down the track. It's not got a very big reach there, Nazar. Strengthening the offside a little more now. This is the reason that it's got a corridor of uncertainty. A tentative Nazar did have a poke at it. And a little bit of movement after pitching as well. This time it's Najaf Shah who's moving towards a wicket maiden. And I can't recall an incident or an instant where Sunoco Minor League Cricket Championship has produced 2 back-to-back wicket maidens. No, that's not the case. If he's going for a single, no, it stopped. It is a wicket maiden indeed. Score stagnates at 5. 2 wicket maidens back-to-back. 5 for 3. And this is the reason it's 5 for 3. It was 5 for no loss not too long ago. Adil Bhatti inducing the false shot from Homraj. Was a little tentative early on. A good catch by Chippa. And Modani, a 1-ball visitor. Then Mahesh Ram going for an audacious shot over long on. Huge gap between bat and pad. Ball sneaks through. It was Najaf Shah, the captain, who picked up that wicket. We're back live. First run for Barnwell. We've seen some incredible fight backs in Sunoco Minor League Cricket Championship 2023. I very fondly remember the Shadley moment where the Seattle Thunderbolts against the San Diego Surf Riders in their home turf, San Diego Surf Riders. The Seattle Thunderbolts were down and out when Shadley Van Skolvik took the game deep and got the game to 1 ball, 4 required. Eventually it was San Diego Surf Riders who won by a margin of 1, but that game was lost. Full toss but straight to the fielder. Now that game if you see, the Seattle Thunderbolts had no business winning at one point of time, but the fact that it was a terrific fight back just gives you hope that there can be one here for the New England Eagles as well. It's not a very poor wicket to bat on, but it is a wicket where you need to apply yourself against the spinners a bit more. This one hurried on to him. Katparu was more interested, not Bhatti. To be cheeky there, Salman Nazar. When shots in the textbook is not giving you runs, look for the supplementary sheets. Missed it completely. 6 for 3. If he gets out playing that shot, the coach will tell you this is not the tent that you belong to. Salman Nazar is on the mark. Chris Barnwell, if he's looking at the scorecard, then he's going to feel curtailed. If he's looking at only the ball, then he can go through the line and score runs. And score 6 of them. Adil Bhatti is cranking up the pace as well now. 2 runs of Bhatti's second over. 4 overs gone. 7 for 3 the Eagles. Required rate 8.2 now.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need one hand on the roof, one hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go rewards, when you fuel, you save because rewards come first.
Captain wants the third on the trot, and why not? He's breathing fire. Christopher Barnwell. In the first 6 overs, remember, only 2 can be at the boundary rope. Or this could be another. This is another. Salman Nazar has gifted a catch. A very half-hearted stroke and a soft dismissal of someone who can wreak havoc once he gets going. Today is not the day. Another slower delivery, another cutter. And it can't get simpler than this for Sunny Patel, who completes the catch. Nazar departs for 1. The Eagles have been caged. 7 for 4. Now, Jihan Senanayaka. Someone who's strung a lot of partnership in the middle order. Coming in the middle order. Today has got to do the same. Runs still in single digits for New England Eagles. Management's decided to stick with the right-hand, left-hand combination to eke out wide deliveries as well. It's got to be a Barnwell special today. There's no two ways about it. It's got to be a Barnwell special if New England Eagles have to claw themselves back into the game. Johansson and Naika off the mark with a couple. This one held its line. Interestingly, every time a left-hander has left it, including Nazar when he faced the innate deliveries today, every time a left-hander has left it and Shah has been bowling, the ball has held its line. so often in cricket you realize that as a batter you're caught a little late if you're playing the previous delivery in mind while facing the next one. In the air, but safely done. Good throw as well. Katwaru was in a good position to collect it. The throw had already arrived. Superb work this. Was in the air for a brief moment as well. Got a little excited there. A bit Chipper. You can't keep Chibba out. It's taken a good catch, Chibba, and now great fielding effort. Yorker to Barnwell. Shah feels it was the toe. Sean Finlay sees the funny side of it. Sean Finlay looked straight into the camera and said, I want the third umpire. Oh, that was a very, very good shout. What a good Yorker as well. The puff of dust would have almost obscured the ball. Barnwell, the big Barnwell tries to bring the sledgehammer down in time, trying to keep out the delivery. Senanayake wants that single, it's just not available. Five overs gone, 11 for 4.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट में क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
Masood now. Senanayake. Interestingly, the Pacers have done much better for the Cavaliers compared to their counterparts. It was the spinners who troubled the batters more. Or Senanayake has lifted this one over long on. And it's gone the distance as well. That is a bolt from the blue. They had to target someone, the New England Eagles, and it's the final over of the power play. Masood is someone introduced. Mid-on in place. The shot was on. He's turning the heat on now, Sananayaka. We're back live and he smashed another boundary. Well, it's going to be 11 of the first 3 then. Shot this time, put away through the leg side. For a moment I thought it's landing in the lap of Findlay, not to be. Cleared him comfortably. Now as soon as Masood realizes the batter is coming after him, the slip fades away. No protection offered on the offside. Marshall's gone to covers. Point comes in. And his ball shot this time as well. Is that an opportunity spilled? Well, let's have a look at it again. Just falling short of Gatanan. Masood started to hurry the batters. Now Christopher Barnbill was a little late in this one. Sananayak has shown glimpses of extremely good batting, especially with his first shot that he played straight down the ground. No, long on rather. Tentative Barnwell. His mind is telling him go for it. The scoreboard is telling him don't. Good finish by Masood. It's not easy to get the ball up there for Barnwell. 12 runs of Masood's over. 23 for 4. The Eagles get a move on though. The first power play ends.
What's up, Doug? What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
$23 for 4, the New England Eagles. Chipper has been excellent on the field. Now with the ball in hand. Trial by spin starts. Chipper has received input that if you make him lean into a drive, there are chances that he'll get out, much like Home Raj did today. And Chipper himself was the one who took the catch. Oh, put away nicely. He'd made his mind up, that Sananayaka, and he's proving to be a headache for the opposition skipper Najaf. You can't set a field for this man. He creates his own angles because he's such a good reader of length. This time behind square. And the fact that it's gone the distance as well. Sananayak is too talented. Tries the same shot again, same region again. Chipper with his hand held out was praying it lands. It does land, but not in his palm. Just got a feeling that he delayed the dive as well, but what a good attempt. Moving outside off initially. Senanayaka wanting to access the leg side better. Surprised that the single was not taken. Good comeback by Chipper. So the only run scoring opportunity ended up being 6 from Senanayaka. 7 overs gone, 29 for 4. And this was Chipper who took the first catch to send Homeraj back. This is exactly what we were mentioning early on. Out of the 4 wickets, that would have been very, very effective. And then Bhatti continued, sent Modani back to the hut. First ball, Mahesh Ram played a shot that he wants to forget. And then the 4th one was a big jolt indeed. Salman Nazar. More than the wicket, it's the way he's got out. A gift. Sunny Patel was sensational with the bat in hand. Now with his catching too. Very well bowled, Sunny Patel. I think the captain's following a template. Whoever takes a catch today gets to bowl. And Sunny Patel started off well. He's so good. There's Sunny Patel. This will leak a couple of runs. And he's so quick as well, Sunny Patel, in getting through that over. 3 deliveries done and dusted already. He's keeping it wicket to wicket, not giving much room to Chris Barnwell. Not allowing him to free his arms by bowling quicker as well. Once again, that length which you can't get entirely on the back foot and try and put that away. You got to be camping on the back foot and deep inside the crease to try and put that away. Barnwell's looking for a single. It doesn't exist, says Katwaru. Oh, what an over from Patel, just 2 of it. A contest brewing now. 5 of 14 for Barnwell, 31 for 4, the Eagles.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
Gajanan Singh. Operating with a slip in place, he started off with a one that flirts with the white line. Huge appeal from Gajanan Singh. This game you can never get enough of, isn't it? A stalwart like Gajanan getting excited like that. Of course, it's Barnwell who's obscuring our view. Gajanan Singh almost got that ball that carried, almost. Got a little excited with that ricochet, but still no run. Mr. 202, that is Senanayaka, is got to be very careful. Can't leave the crease early. Barnwell strikes. Yasir is too good. Gets to the ball and a good throw as well. Katwaru with a tumble. Yasir is quick to anticipate. And it's a very hot position to be in against Chris Barnwell, because the ball will come quickly to you. Deep mid-wicket region. Barnwell loves from deep backward square to deep mid-wicket. And he's got that power factor as well. At the last moment, he can shift the position and hit it exactly where he wants to. Seen through the offside from backward points to extra cover. But today he's not finding the middle of the bat. 6 of 17.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need one hand on the roof, one hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go rewards, when you fuel, you save, because rewards come first.
Very good throw. Still the batter makes it. Chris Barnwell running to the danger range. Chipper with a good throw. Oh well, he could have been much better there, Chipper, in hindsight. This angle creates an optical illusion, doesn't it? Good work by Stephen Katwaru from Trinidad and Tobago. Still remember his exploits in Australia, the Under-19 World Cup. That was a great experience for him. This one's cut away. Chris Barnwell needed something to get going. Chipper is livid with the field. He wasn't too short, but Barnwell said, I have enough to send it for 4. Is this the shot that Barnwell required to break free? Seems so. Goes leg side and gets another boundary. This is why Barnwell is a ticking time bomb. When he gets one, he can get another easily. We'll check the distance on it as well. Just inside the row. The New England Eagles getting a move on. Required rate is touch 9. But once again, I reiterate, it's got to be the Barnwell factor if they've got to get close. Senanayake can play his shots, of course. Oh, good ball. Now Senanayake can play his shots, but Barnwell's got the power to clear any boundary at will. And once again, Patel's putting a petition to increase the height of the stumps, at least looking at the batter. This was so close to the bails. I'm very sure the bails would have rumbled a little bit because the ball was too close. Ten runs of Patel's over and getting excruciatingly close to picking up a wicket at the halfway stage. The Eagles are 44 for 4. The New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers reach 138. There were a couple of jolts in the 7th over. Then after that 12th and 14, but eventually they got to 138. Couple of good partnerships in there. The New England Eagles, however, stuttered in the beginning. 3 wickets down for 5. These Manhattans are missing the dots. Still a long way to go. The Christopher Barnwell show, if that's in store, then with Senanayake's brilliance as well with the bat in hand, the Eagles would want this partnership to continue, because here are two men who can quite drastically change any game in their team's favor, even if it's 9.5 required at this stage. Captain Najaf has decided to stick with spinners to try and purchase the wicket of Barnwell. Who knows, he's got to go for the big shots. Yasir has been so good in the deep today. Initially was at long on and long off, and now at deep mid wicket. The key is anticipation and getting rid of the ball quickly. This partnership, I tell you, is the only thing that's holding New England Eagles in good stead in this game. (39 at 37). Contributed more by Senanayake, 23. And Barnwell's getting there. Not only have they managed to score 6 and over, very impressed by the tactical brilliance of Barnwell and Senanayake. Now Senanayake is overdoing it, you would feel, because Gajanan Singh is someone who's been watching what happened when his partners were bowling too. No turn this time. A slip was there for effect. Slip has been removed. Yasir once again getting rid of the ball quickly. Barnwell knew he was in trouble for a moment. Would have had his heart in his mouth. Senanayake was on the back foot as well. But Yasir chose to throw at the striker's end. A single of every single ball so far. Barnwell wants the bigger denominations. 9.7 the required rate. Well, Barnwell goes straight down the ground. Janil Masood in the deep, only a single. One more delivery left. Gichanand Singh has done a good job so far. Oh, looks like it's ended the over. $11 overs gone.
आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
Don't chase that, it's okay. He struck it too well. This is the importance of a single at the last ball. Yasir introduced and Yasir invited. What a shot. Puts a lot of power behind it as well, Barnwell. Now Barnwell's reached out to this one. And it's been put down. Is that the game? Findlay, was it Findlay? Yes, it was. Findlay's having a game to not remember. This was straightforward. He'd put in the hard yards to reach there in the first place. And he reached there quite comfortably. But butterfingers, he's put down Barnwell. Just the kind of luck the Eagles required. This time, Barnwell will be caught. And Yasir Mohammed finally will afford a smile. Taken quite comfortably, in fact. Quite comfortably. Christopher Barnwell departs. 55 for 5. It's been a very bumpy ride because of those dots that you see in the worm. You never want the worm to look like a caterpillar. They were stagnating, New England Eagles, they were stagnating at 5 for 3. They had a slightly good partnership eventually. They were about 44 for 4, 55 for 4, and then 55 for 5. The engine room did not fire today. Sensational from Yasir Mohammed. Just a hint of turn to keep the batter guessing, at the same time allowing the ball to kiss the outside edge. Looks like it's inevitable now. By the way, Yasir Mohammed has come on to bowl. The way he started, doesn't want to remember. The way he ends, brilliant. 55 for 5. Big swing and a miss. Now this happened moments ago. Christopher Barnwell, the big hitter, going for a big shot once again in the over. This time perishes as Lewis doesn't make a mistake. Findlay did. Oh, Senanayak is behind square. He loves it. Senanayak swivels. And he moves outside off to make that area more accessible. What a good shot. Gajanan Singh had bowled 3 dot deliveries. Something had to give. Senanayaka finds a way. Good comeback from Gajanan Singh. The quicker delivery outside off. Now will he follow it up with a slow one? Oh, this game's not being played with friendly fire switched on. All my Counter-Strike friends will understand. Struck so hard. Yes, and Anayaka runs, it's runs when it comes off your bat, not necessarily Muzzers. "61 for 5. "61 for 5. It's a procession now. Beautifully flighted by Yasir. Gaurav Grover. The first ball duck. Yasir Mohammad's on a hat trick now. 61 for 7.
What's up, Doug? What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
Bhatti took a superb catch in the deep to provide Yasir his third wicket. Saranayaka. How much can he do? The required rate's marching to its own drum beat. Jalan Singh has tried everything today. But it's still that the wicket is evading him. Shashwat Ganeshan. Cutler reveals there's something to be looked at. feeling the heat at the moment. The keeping has been good. The keeping has been really good today from Katwaru. The anticipation, being in a good position to collect the throws. Keeping is one of those thankless jobs perhaps you only notice when you make a mistake. It's gone through. Gajanan Singh has done minimum discomfort to the furniture and maximum for Ganeshan. It is so heartwarming for a spinner to get the batter out this way. Any off spinner wants the ball to go through the bat and pad with a batter playing a defensive shot, and Ganeshan has done exactly that. He's played a defensive shot only to realize that there was a huge gap between the bat and pad and the ball had snuck through. Singh picks up his first wicket. Burhan Saeed's come out to bat now. 64 for 8. What does the points table tell us? The Philadelphians are already there. New Jersey Stallions at number 2. The Somerset Cavaliers and the New England Eagles are squaring off against each other, and it looks like the Cavaliers would be facing Stallions tomorrow. It's going to be a New Jersey derby. The New England Eagles are stuttering at the moment. 64 for 8, and the required rates reach 15. Now, if the Eagles believe in miracles, then this is the best time to get one. Yasir. He's been very audacious there, Yasir, and now you see the flight increasing as well on the ball, and it's a great time to come in and bowl. Opposition's pinned down to 64 for 8. You need to get some game time. You need to get into rhythm for the bigger games. Tomorrow is another one. The New England Eagles will be very disappointed with themselves. They got the right side of the coin, and they bowled decently well. I thought the fielding effort was good too, but the batting has collapsed. How cruel a game this has become for Burhan Saeed. He picks up the wickets, thinking he'll put his feet up and let the batters score the runs. He's been asked to pad up and score the runs too. And at an unreal rate of 15.8 against young Mohammed, who's 3 wickets for 9. Sides off the mark. Surely the Eagles will go back to the drawing board. It's not a selection problem for them. It's just that come the big game, the big guns haven't fired. Good thinking from Mohammed to keep it outside the arc as well, knowing that Syed will have to go for the big shot, provide the customary hits, if you may. Has this one been pouched? No, put down. Would have been a good catch. Junaid held on to it. Was in the air for a long time, but just out of reach, just dipping at the wrong time. "16 overs, 67 for 8.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
$67 for 8. With 18 and over required, it's going to be Junaid. Junaid bowls this one. That means Yasir Mohammed has bowled sensationally today. 3 for 11. He'll bowl his final over, which is the game's 18th. Burhan Saeed. In fact, it's Sananayaka on strike, the left-hander. Straight down the ground. And looks like he's got enough fuel to send it. Height plus distance. Long off, always interested. Falling shot. And that's the end of Senanayaka's good innings. He had to go for the big shot, just cannot hang around. As Khanchi comes out to bat, he's the final. And it's the final pair out there for the New England Eagles. Masood has picked up a wicket too. The Somerset Cavaliers, after losing the toss, they haven't put a foot wrong today. They had a couple of early jolts as well, remember, after a decent start. But they came back really well, scored 138, and the bowling has been top-notch. Relentless is the word. Masood believes the finger should go up. Is there a bit of bat involved? Oh well. Now Katwaru was absorbed in the appeal, at the same time had to collect the ball if the finger stayed down. That was important. From this angle, it looks like it got a bit of pad. And it's the back leg as well. Khanji's got a run. Keep it outside off and keep it simple. Why not target the stumps? It's the final pair out there. I think he wants to mix it up here. Rizwan back in the hut. God of Grover back in the hut. These two ducks will definitely hurt. 3 ducks, in fact, overall, if you add Captain Sushant Modani's as well. This one's going to go for 4. Syed is providing something to cheer for. Something to cheer for. Pitched up. Moves on to a runner ball 5 side. Katwaru misses. Can't get that single. It's going to be Kanchi on strike for the next over. 72 for 9, the Eagles.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need one hand on the roof, one hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go rewards, when you fuel, you save because rewards come first.
This should be taken. Is that the final nail in the coffin? Is gifted the catch. And the Eagles bundle out for 73. It's a hefty win. It's a great win indeed for the Cavaliers, who will square off against the Stallions tomorrow, as it's the Cavaliers who trot on in the tournament. A margin of 65 would be mighty, and it'll please them really, really well. Give them a lot of confidence as well. Abir Chippa kept it away from the arc of the batter. All in all, what a game of cricket this. Akshay Homraj, Apurva, Mahesh Ram and Sushant Modani. The engine room added 5 together, and that's where the problem started. Lot to do for Barnwell. Salman left early. Sananayaka was the only batter to enter into the 30s. In fact, couple of ducks thereafter. Nothing much to talk about. 73, and the Eagles have got their wings chopped off today. Cavaliers were sensational with the ball in hand. A couple of wickets each for Syed Najaf Shah and Adil Bhatti, who were impeccable with the new ball. And it's interesting that Adil Bhatti did not get to bowl his full quota. I only wonder, with the kind of form he was in, how many more he would have got. A wicket each for Junaid and Abir Chippa. And Yasir Mohammed was sensational again. 3 wickets in his 3 overs. 2 of them coming in the same over. That leg spinner's got a great future. Anand Singh bowled one which was superb to watch. That wicket is something that resembles and was screaming red ball cricket. Through the gap, bat and pad, missed the ball onto the stumps. .140. Najaf, the captain, will start with a ball in hand. Very important. And if he can come through a shot of this kind, even better. Slices it. And the ball's still travelling. Taken. He's got the wicket there, Bhatti. The 2 dot balls have done the trick. And up is drive for Momraj late. 138 for 7, the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers, after being asked to bat. Sunny Patel's 34 of 19 was a treat to watch, especially when he went great guns against the spinner with 3 sixes. And Bhatti's 23 would be remembered as well. What will also be remembered is Bhatti's first over, where he picked up 2 important wickets, 2 for 2 in 2 overs. All-round performance from Adil Bhatti. Saeed was good with the ball too. Nazar picked up a wicket as well. Sananayaka's all-round performance as well will be talked about, but New England Eagles just did not turn up with the bat in hand today. 73. They're a better team than this, and they know. It's just that it's come off at a very, very wrong time, very, very wrong game for them. The do-or-die contest. New England Eagles, they needed 66 more to be pronounced winners. It's the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers who walk away with a win and will face the Stallions tomorrow as they stay alive in 2023 Sunoco Minor League Cricket Championship. It was a fantastic day of cricket. It was great fun bringing it to you as well. I'm Suhas Vedan, and on behalf of everyone at the Glenville Cricket Complex, New York, it's goodbye from us. Take care.